right, hello everyone, and welcome to the SPE Studio Podcast. I'm here today with Matthias and Justin, and we got a few things we're going to be talking about today. The first thing we're going to talk about is requests. So, how do you guys feel about getting requests while you're DJing?
Well, I normally welcome them in a situation where I'm put where I have to guess what people want to listen to. So anytime I'm not giving any heads up as to what my audience is going to be and who's going to be there and what kind of crowd it's going to be, I welcome requests during those because it will only usually help you. If you've already prepped a set to a certain degree where you know what you're supposed to be doing and people start to get into the way, it can be more frustrating. But if it's a freestyle gig, it's a lot different.
I see. I agree with you in that. I think that if I don't know what situation I'm in, I'm like kind of hopeful that someone will come ask for a song if I don't know what to play. And I also really like when someone asks for a song that I've never heard before. Because like if I don't have it, I'll like tell them the truth, like, sorry, I don't have that song, or like I don't know it, and then I'll save it and then go back home and listen to it like after the gig. And like I found some cool songs like that, like some new songs that were when they were coming out.
I agree. I think I would, if I percentage it out, I'd say a good 40% of the stuff that I play is due to the audience demand to hear that particular song.
Okay.
Either whether I learn it through the grapevine or whether or not I'm being asked for it regularly.
How do you feel, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the event, kind of like what Matthias said. If I'm doing a bar gig and you get the typical intoxicated person that comes up to you and asks for something over and over and over, and it's like, I'll try and get to it if I can, if it fits into my set, whatever you have to say.
Yeah.
And that drives me a little nuts. If I'm at a private event, I'm really open to it because I'm there for the people. I'm not trying to put on a show or anything like that.
True.
And it's not like a themed night, for example. It's definitely a situational thing. When I always welcome requests because I like to know what's going on, and that's other than listening to all different channels, music channels throughout the week. That's like the best way to spread things.
Yeah,
and,
I mean they're literally telling you what they want.
Right. So if I don't have the track, I'm like, man, I got to step up my game. I got to get this music. I got to pay more attention to what's going on, what's fresh. How does somebody? The most curious I am is about how does somebody else know about the song and I don't know about it yet.
Yeah, like where did they hear it from?
Right. Yeah.
But you never get the opportunity to ask them where they heard it, unless it's like a face-to-face, like with your friends. But yeah, if someone requests a song, you're not going to be like, oh, where did you hear this from?
Right.
Because I'm astonished that you knew it before I did.
Right. No,
I just got the promo pack like months ago.
Haven't had a chance to work my way through it yet.
Yeah.
But that is true though. I mean that keeps you fresh if you're in it all day, all the time, and you're taking requests from people and genres that you're not comfortable with, and you just open yourself up to it and don't take it as a bad thing. You're learning a lot from your customer base straight from the horse's mouth. You don't need any marketing tools or anything like that. Just got to be okay with it. And literally, if it's a crazy request, just play it sometimes and see what happens. Because sometimes you'll be surprised when you think that it won't work and
I give him a chance sometimes.
Oh wow!
Like if I could like preview and hear it and be like, okay, I don't usually play this or I haven't played this, and it's like something I recently downloaded but haven't played out yet. If someone asks for it, I'll definitely give it a chance. But like if someone's asking for something I never heard of and I don't even have it on my computer yet, if
That's
I'm doing
a whole different story.
Yeah, then if
While
it's like,
you're in set, that's tough.
if you're in set, like this is more for like a nightclub. If it was like
No, you
a
can
wedding
do it.
or
You
whatever.
can download, but it's some grunt work. You got to be DJing and browsing the web at the same time.
Yeah, if it or if you're like, this is a different topic, but like if you're opening, like then I would be like more open to doing it as well. Like if it's like the beginning of the night, not that many people are there,
Right,
it's still like pretty slow.
Right.
There's a new song, I kind of want to see like how it sounds just to listen to it myself.
Yes.
Like,
Especially if you got a hot spot and you're hot spotting, you know where exactly where to go. You have your hot spot with you, activate it, log on, download on 4G, 5G, whatever your best network ability is. Because if you're DJing full time, you should be carrying a high speed internet hotspot with you at all times to get you out of jams. This is tips and tricks from your local.
local what?
DJ team.
DJ, DJ team.
that was such a dramatic build up. Everyone who's listening to this now is like, oh, did the audio cut out? Like, what? So we'll do this for people who have ever requested music before, but like think of an example of that. It was just a bad request. Like in this scenario, this is just a bad request. So here's one. So you and maybe a couple of your friends want to hear a song, but the DJ doesn't have it. So usually what I'll do if I don't have the song or if I like don't know the song, or even sometimes if I don't want to play it, I'll be like, oh, I'll see if I have it, or I'll see if I could like fit it in the set.
100% of the time, let me check. I'll see if I have it.
Yeah, I always say I'll see if I have it, and then like if they leave, whatever, if I'm still mixing, but when you come back multiple times, that starts to like get on my nerves. So you come back or say, oh, we're leaving soon, can you play it?
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
Soon can we play it?
Now
I
I'm
agree.
Now
That
I
has
am
to be one of
definitely
the worst
now I am
ones.
definitely not playing that.
We're leaving soon. Can you play our song? Oh yeah, that's not how you do it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. That is not how it's done. If you're trying to get a DJ to play your music, do not tell him you're leaving and that you want to hear the song immediately now. No, it doesn't work. Go on the dance floor and dance
Yeah, dance
to other music.
Start dancing to the music a little bit. If the DJ sees you're the one that's out there dancing the most,
you're
he's
go-
probably
you're
gonna
golden.
play your
You're
song.
golden.
Absolutely.
You're golden.
That's the key.
If
If
you
you
are-
want to get your song played, just live
Go
on
on
the
the
dance
dance-
floor.
If you are
and
dancing-
DJ's gonna
yeah.
play anything you want.
If you are dancing your
Not
ass off
anything,
and
but-
you come up to me and you ask for a song that I have, I'm probably gonna play it.
Have a lot. Yeah, you have a huge chance because you're part of the energy. I trust that it will.
Like, what does it do for me as the DJ if I play your song, right?
And
Just so I can play it before you leave,
most of the time,
and then
these-
you don't dance to anything else. Like, I'm killing the
or
party.
or anything at all. You
Yeah.
know, how about the people that sit at the bar and come up to you with a packed dance floor and say, "Nobody likes this song.
I know.
You should play this other obscure song that has nothing to do with the set that you're playing." It's like, okay, yeah, you might like that, and maybe two other people like it. But even if I play it, you're still gonna go hang out at the bar.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Exactly.
kill my dance floor.
destroy
Destroy
the
it.
dance floor.
I'm not saying you always need to focus on your dance floor, but you need to be mindful of your of people come to party, and you have to really play for them.
And unfortunately, it's like once you've activated dance floor, like
you're like afraid
there
to
is
let
no
go
option.
of it. Yeah, you're afraid
to
to let go of
maintain
it.
You can't let go. If you let go of it, it's like like flying a kite and you just lost all the wind and it just falls all the way down to the ground. You know.
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you're supposed to like what they call it is flip the room? Have you heard of this?
Turn the floor.
Or turn the floor?
Turn the floor. Oh yeah.
Like, have you been in that situation ever in like a club or something? Has that ever been a thing? Because apparently in clubs on like the West Coast, they'll do that. They like, or like in Vegas too. If it's like really packed somewhere and they're trying to like get other people in, they'll like basically tell the DJ to like kill it, to like kill the
So
dance
people
floor.
leave and
So
more people
will
come
leave
into the
and
club?
then they can let more people in.
I've never been in that situation. Most most places I've been haven't necessarily been sold out, so they're not like hurting to move people.
Well, I was just wondering, like, because I had never heard of that or like even thought of it as a concept. The only thing that is close to that is like at the end of the night, kind of playing like slower music to like chill everybody out a little bit. You know, we don't want any fights or anything.
So I do.
People are leaving.
When
I agree with that. I think that's a good tactic. But anything prior to that, in order to swap out customer clients or to like cattle people in and out,
that sounds kind of crazy.
Not
right?
cool. With me.
It's totally venue specific, I think, though. So if you're at a private event and you have 150 people here, and it's a very diverse group of people, and you're playing hip hop for like an hour, and you've got a crowd that wants to dance to some Latin music, and they're giving you the eye, and they might dance to some hip hop too. They're waiting. They're like, when are you gonna play my music?
Yeah.
You know, and then you have the other side of thing, even if it's not at a private event. So like Matthias and I are down on the boats fairly frequently, and you have typically a fairly diverse group of people down there, and everyone that goes there is looking to have a good time and looking to be catered to. So you have to, even if it's not a danceable set, you have to get in some music that those people on the other side of the boat are going to like, or those people in the front or back are going to like. Otherwise, they're not going to be happy.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like, definitely if you have a diverse group, you gotta like work in like some other stuff than what you're playing or what you would normally play, depending on like your DJing style.
But if everyone's jiving to what you're playing, I'm not going to change it.
Yeah, exactly.
The genre wheel works. Just hit your rocks. You're South American, you're Arabic, you're North American, you know, and then you're good.
I don't think I have any Arabic
If you have
music.
a multi thing, you just go make sure you, as far as background music goes, you know.
I see.
Just to let everyone know it's gonna be okay. We're aware of the diversity, and we want everyone to know that there's a lot of different kinds of music being played here, and we're not whitewashing it, or we're not
like kind of like setting the tone. Like I'm going to play like a little bit of everything.
I'm playing a light R&B. I'm playing some salsa. I'll play an Indian track that's, you know, more like with kind of the
I'm usually
Afro
saving my
beats.
Indian tracks for later.
Those are typically for later. Those are the heaters. But some of them imitate an Afro beat kind of vibe, and those low key ones can be used early on. But Afro beats are a wonderful floor starter.
Really?
Yeah, because it's very.
You said the Afro beats are?
Yeah, they're a nice floor starter when you're starting from 0 or -1 or 2. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Because you.
So like if you're at a venue or a bar or something and you're playing music, people are still seated, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
dinner time before they
Exactly.
start moving tables out of the way to get ready for the
Right,
late night
right.
crowd, and
Yeah.
you're trying to bring the energy up.
Yeah, exactly. Let me hit that beat for you right now. It goes like.
That sounds like the baile funk.
Yeah, and then you have like a very calm melody over it, and it works really well.
I mean, it's definitely got a good rhythm.
Yeah.
What do you guys have any other examples of like a bad request? Like when's like the worst situation to ask? Because I'm just trying to let people get informed that maybe don't know.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? It's not that I like don't know what a bad request is.
Are you looking for specific songs?
No song shaming. Well, I guess you could say a specific song just so people get the point.
Something that's totally out of left field.
Okay.
So if I'm playing a hip hop set, don't ask me for some Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Something like
exactly.
that. That's so far detached from the energy level in the room.
Which will happen at weddings a lot.
Or like a specific time for me would be like exactly doing like a hip hop set or like maybe even an electronic set. And then someone's like, yeah, can you play like Sweet Caroline?
Right.
Like stuff like that.
Maybe at like 2 a.m.
It's like, yeah, probably at closing, bro. I know you'll still be here. It's okay.
Well, right on. Well, I think we definitely covered a good amount of the request.
I think for
Content, right?
what about for a good request? I would say.
Well, we already said if you want to get your request played, make sure you're staying on the dance floor.
Yeah, but that's not the only thing though that'll make you play it. But that's gonna definitely help, right?
Oh, something that's right in the same BPM range as I'm in, something that flows. If there are so many times, in fact, every time that I'm DJing, I can never think of the perfect track to play next. And then I hear it like a couple days later. I'm like, oh, that's what I should have played. I'm digging through my library. I'm like, okay, what should I play right now? I know there's a perfect song. I can't think of the name of it. If somebody comes up and requests that song, I say thank you so much. I will play it for you right now. And it's not because I'm an awesome DJ that just loves playing requests.
Other than being an awesome DJ.
Right. It's what you call those gold star requests.
Yeah.
Where you're like, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming right up.
Like, because you definitely have those times where someone says something and you're like, yo,
and
nice.
you know what? And it's because they were like, they hear the beat that's very similar. And sometimes you can tell they don't have a clue why they picked that song. Yeah. But you hear, know what the similarities are,
right,
because of whatever the key.
Subconsciously,
the BPM,
they thought of it.
Yeah, it might be double time or half time, but you understand why it's gonna work on your next fade, no doubt.
Right.
And somehow this person was like, play that song next, and you're like, that's right. That's a very, very good idea.
Are you looking for a job? Can I hire you?
Exactly. What's coming up after that? Come back around.
Yo, come
Make
back
sure
for
you come up.
come back for the next track too, man. That's so funny. Because just the other day I was DJing and it was like a pop house set, and someone asked for Lizzo, "What's Not Truth Hurts," the other one.
Good as hell.
Not good as hell.
Juice.
Yep. Yeah. See, one of those. Yeah, it was.
If you would have said 120 BPM Lizzo song, I would have been like,
well, I said pop house. I don't know. I thought you guys were like DJs or something. Okay. So that's an example of like something that was good. Playing like a pop. Yeah. I was like playing like a pop house set. Girl comes up. Can you play? I forgot already. Juice. Yeah. And then. Yeah. So yeah. Any request that's like along with the vibe.
Your cable's stuck in there.
Yeah, it is stuck.
Anthony's trying to readjust.
There we go.
Here.
So like any request that is like within the genre and the tempo, definitely we'll get it. So if you're dancing these people weren't dancing, but no one was really dancing in this situation. It was like a background music situation. But anytime it's like that similar or like matches the vibe, that's like definitely when the DJ is going to want to throw your song in the mix. All right, so the next topic we're going to get on today is opening DJs. So did either of you guys see what Carnage had tweeted about? I know it was a couple weeks ago now. You did see that tweet? And I told you about it, but I didn't like show it to you or anything.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter a whole lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna read his tweet. He said, "Openers should always bang it out. If the headliner DJ gets mad at you, it just shows that they're insecure. That one opening slot might be in front of an important agent or promoter. Give it your all. It could make or break you." And the DJ internet has been blowing up talking about whether he's right or wrong, like what better advice would be, how it doesn't work like that. So
I'd say right off the bat, wrong.
Okay, right off the bat, wrong.
Absolutely.
So why is that wrong?
Because
do you know DJ Carnage?
No.
So yeah, let me tell you the situation. So DJ Carnage is like a festival DJ, he's like electronic and hip hop DJ, but he DJs for like festivals and like mostly like EDM crowds.
Okay. A
lot of the time. I just was like giving you a little premise on like what his point of view was. So like why do you say that's bad?
Are you saying this is more situational?
Well, it could be, but I just want to hear what your initial thoughts were just from like hearing that.
In general, if you're a headlining performer, you are what people are coming to see. And they might also come to see somebody that's opening for you. They might specifically come for the opener, but it's like maybe 10% of the crowd, not 90% of the crowd. And it's your show. You can pick your openers. You know, it's so as a headliner, I guess it's up to them what happens.
Okay.
So if the headliner is cool with whatever they're cool with, then great, do that. If the headliner is not cool with it, don't do that, because otherwise you're not on the tour anymore. Or maybe you get a bad name in the industry, and nobody wants to invite you on to open for them next time.
Okay.
I'm not a headlining festival DJ, but I've been around long enough to understand that your success in the industry is less likely based on a random person seeing you at a show or finding you on YouTube or anything like that, and it's more likely your career's more likely to be advanced based on industry connections. So you want to make as many friends and keep as many friends as you can. And by potentially doing something other than what the headliner is requesting from you as their opener, you're not acting in your own best interests or theirs.
Okay. So I do think it is somewhat situational, and it really does depend on what the headliner wants.
Right.
So I would say...
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong all the time. I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general, that's not true.
So
You
as
should
a broad,
not always bang it.
As a broad statement, we should like unpack this a little bit,
Right.
because I
Okay.
think from his point of view, I can understand why he would say something like that. Being like an EDM DJ, like if his opener, if the music they make is like all bangers, like what else are they supposed to play if they're opening? If they do get that whatever 10% of the crowd that is coming to see them, why wouldn't they want to be playing the music that they make for them? So in like...
Well, why did they get invited to open?
Exactly.
Probably because of whatever that reason is.
So that's why I
do
think
that thing.
that's why I think that if you're looking from a different perspective, so like under the EDM lens, I feel like that kind of makes sense. But if we're talking about like an open format like club, then it also, I think that would just depend on what the headliner would want.
Sure.
Because if I'm headlining anywhere, I don't care what you play. If the crowd is having a good time by when I get on and they're not completely dead, that's what I would say. I would say don't like kill the audience to the point where they're tired, so that when I get on, like that they're going to be like bored. But like if that happened, then I would be like, okay, I'm just going to slow it down and then bring it back up again. Like I don't really worry too much about what the person before me is going to play. In either situation, like if it was an EDM show or like open format. So I personally like wouldn't care either way. I probably just wouldn't want you to play any of my songs or anything like that. So that's another thing. Any new DJs out there listening, if you're going to open for an artist, don't play any of their songs. Don't even make a remix of their song and try and play it for the show. If you want to show them the remix, try and show it to them at the show or something. But don't play it before they go on, especially if it's like one of their hits.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And I'll say that it is a slight difference between like being DJs and doing it and then bands getting on stage and doing their music. If you're in a band and you're playing venues, everybody on the band, you have your own material. You're playing
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to knock it out of the park every time.
Exactly.
No matter
So
what.
So why should that be that much different for DJs?
So it also comes down to intimacy settings. So venues that are very tight and everybody's really close, and there's might be a small floor to mosh in or jump around in, but it's a smaller venue, and you may want to control the energy exponentially by having the opener make sure that he's playing up tempo, but not thrashing, dropping massive energy, like not taking it to the point where the crowd literally is exhausted for your headlining set. in the case of a big festival, I don't think it matters because there's so many people.
Yeah.
But you put 4 DJs in a House of Blues event. You would want your headlining DJ to bang it out of the park and drop the biggest tracks,
Yeah.
the biggest sounding stuff. The guy that came before him should definitely do something similar, but shorter and also not quite as much. But the difference is a DJ could also pick from so much material.
Yeah,
Where a band
exactly.
has only their own.
True.
So this question of whether or not you should as an opener curate your set to better the overall show and to respect the headliner. What you said, playing music of your headliner. In all cases, I think that's true. That's a no-go.
Yeah, that's something you definitely should
Unless
do.
it's pre-planned and agreed upon. As far as energy goes, with bands and all original music acts, they get a pass because they have to perform their own music live, and that they're gonna do it their best no matter what. And it's the difference between you and selecting the right music to warm up a crowd than a band doing it to support a band. You have two huge big bands playing back to back. You sometimes go and leave after the opening act because that's who you came to see. You have people walking out of the arena before the headliner even goes on because they're back to back, because that spot isn't as important. But in the DJ world, yes, it can be. So I think the respect to keep it under control for the headliner is somewhere there, but without compromising, your own technique or whatever.
So I think that this comes down to an issue of the booking itself then, right? Shouldn't you be picking a DJ that is going to complement that DJ style or be something totally different so that that problem doesn't happen, where people are like sick of hearing or don't want to hear
style.
or don't want to hear like the most energetic music? Okay, then pick a DJ who plays chill stuff to play before him then, and don't ever have to worry about it.
Great.
And I think this question like this arises and people feel so strongly about it because in this situation, I feel like the opener is getting disrespected because you're not getting the same chance to showcase what you want to play. So if the opener can play the same things as the headlining DJ, then what makes him any better?
If he is playing he or she is playing all original music, or the group is playing all original music, it's an immediate pass. You have there's no argument there.
Yeah.
No one can argue against that. If it's a set of it's an amalgamation of tunes from people from everywhere and the current music and remixes and whatever you got going, then going into that gig, if you know where you stand in the gig, it should at least cross your mind as to how much energy you think you can draw in the first place and how much you want to do. Because you jamming and playing power tunes to a thin crowd is like eating a stale cracker, with no jam.
Yeah, and I'm saying like in that situation, if the DJ is playing all those bangers and there isn't that energy on the dance floor, then he just wasn't like the right person for the job to begin with. That's what I'm saying is the problem there. It's like, well, maybe your DJ needs like a little bit more experience before you put him on that platform that he's going to like mess something up like that. So I definitely agree like that the opening DJ should know how to maintain the energy but not use all of it. Like that, I agree with that. But I also feel like in this situation with Carnage, like if you make electronic music and it's all bangers and you get booked to play before someone else who does that,
Totally
well then
different
why
story.
wouldn't you do it? Yeah.
No, there's no argument there.
Well,
That's
you
common
missed out on the
sense.
second sentence. He said if the opening DJ gets mad at you, then it shows that they're insecure.
Oh, that the
So this is
the headlining DJ.
yeah.
gets
Oh,
mad
yeah.
at
The
you,
headlining DJ. If the headlining DJ gets mad at you, it shows they're insecure. So you're definitely spot on with the booking issue. That should all be taken care of. But part of that process is that there's an understanding of what's going on. That the headlining DJ shouldn't have to get mad at you.
Yeah, yeah.
It should have been a conversation, and it happens however that conversation went is what you did.
Because I think this is the problem. Is like you book who's someone who like has like who's like bigger and like, do you guys know who Riot 10 is? He's like a trap and dubstep DJ. So say he gets booked somewhere and they get an opener to play and he gets mad because this person's throwing down like all the hardest dubstep. It's like, yeah, well, they just found this opener. They're paying him like $20 to do this show because this is like his first gig ever. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't get mad at him for messing something up like that.
I was at, I think it was Spring Awakening.
Okay.
Like a couple years ago. And I don't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure the last two people on the main stage were Steve Aoki, followed by Tiesto.
Okay.
And Aoki killed it.
Oh,
Of course.
Aoki was before Tiesto?
Before Tiesto.
Okay.
And then Tiesto came on, and everyone was like, okay, when are you going to bring it up? When are you going to get it going?
Mm-hmm.
And it never happened.
Really?
And because Aoki was just out of control. It was amazing.
I mean, you can't. That's the thing though. But Tiesto probably chose to keep it chill. He's like, I'm just closing out the night, and we're gonna be playing.
It was 11 o'clock.
I know, but like, what was it? Was it like some trancey type stuff where it was like not as hard?
It was definitely not as hard.
Yeah.
I
No
would have
offense
done a
to
different
trance.
set.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure.
But I was so excited to see him, and I was like, man.
Oh, so it was like kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
I see.
But don't.
And a lot of people felt
For
that.
the record, Tiesto is not a letdown on normal occasion. That must have been maybe a call he made after Aoki killed
That's
it
what I
or
mean. It was
something.
probably on the
Who
fly.
Maybe
knows?
He switched it.
Who knows
because
what the
he's-
situation was?
Right,
But
'cause-
it relates directly to the situation that we're discussing.
Exactly.
Where,
What happened there? Yeah.
And Aoki wasn't the opening DJ.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
But he's also Aoki.
There were six other people way before that.
Yeah, because like, what are you gonna do? Tell Steve Aoki not to go hard because
That's not
Tiesto
gonna
was
happen.
because Tiesto was after him. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another reason why I'm saying like on that level is understandable, right? But with the opener, people will get mad at him when it's like a not big DJ. So that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like don't like act a certain way when someone does it and then get mad that this like new DJ opener did it or can play the songs as good as you or whatever. Because I definitely feel where he's saying that the headliner is like insecure. I feel like me personally, I don't like feel any problem with someone playing like heaters early or anything if it's getting the crowd going. Like if they're getting the crowd going in order to like hype them up before I go on, then why wouldn't I want you to do that?
Yeah.
Like then you're just doing it for me. Now I can play whatever I want.
Yep.
And they're still gonna like it.
Concurred.
So I do have a like opening story kind of. So I'm not gonna say where it was at, but I got booked to DJ at a bar in Chicago, and I think I didn't have much heads up for the gig. I think it was like 1 day before, and then and it was when I was just creeping into the like Chicago club scene. So I was 21 at the time still. So I get to this venue and I start DJing. The promoter had told me like, oh yeah, it's just like it's supposed to be an EDM night. Just play like kind of like chiller stuff, like poppier house tunes. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Walk in, set up, start doing that as people are coming in. More people are coming in. It's cool. Then the manager comes up to me and he says, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but it's supposed to be a hip hop night. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So then I start playing hip hop. That's cool. And then the other DJ who's supposed to go on after me starts setting up because he's about to play. I help him switch over. And then he plays for like 5 minutes. And then Louis the Child shows up and says they're doing a set for like some guest pop-up thing. And they just cut the other DJ's set. Lose the Child gets on. Guess what he plays for, or they played for an hour? Electronic music. When it was supposed to be a hip hop night.
Wow.
And people weren't that into it because it was supposed to be a hip hop night. Did I like the music that was getting played?
Yeah.
Yes, I did a lot. But did the crowd want to hear that? Not really, I guess. And they may not have even known who Lose the Child was at the time, because this was before they were like as big as they are now.
Yeah.
Like that was 4 years ago now. So they've definitely grown. But in that situation, like, what is that supposed to show me? Like, as an opening DJ, a younger opening DJ, you know what I mean? Like
Nobody
they were just like,
knows what's going on.
They're like, yeah. So why, if I'm gonna get confused that bad, I might as well have been doing my own thing anyway. I just thought that was like a funny story.
Yeah, it happens
It's
all the
funny,
time.
Yeah, that stuff happens.
Well, that specifically doesn't happen all the time. Somebody wants something one way, somebody wants something another way, and the guest wants something else, and all of a sudden it's just, it's like, who do you please?
I guess that's more of just an expectation thing. But if you're told to play something going into a gig, like what else are you supposed to do?
I'm gonna do what I'm told.
Exactly.
Who's writing my check?
Exactly.
That's who I'm listening to until the end.
Do you guys have any like opening horror stories, like when you open for, or if you had to like open a floor up, or even getting a dance floor started, like anything like that?
Horror stories, you know?
Do you have any like tips for like opening a dance floor? Matthias was giving some earlier.
Tips for opening a dance floor.
Yeah. Hey, I have
Play something recognizable with a good beat.
So throwing elbows.
Sure. Perfect. Play that.
That's basically it. Start if you have control over your low end and you've been tucking it back all night. Start bringing it in, but bring it in.
This is think it's like their first DJ gig. They might not even know what low end is.
Like if you have access to your subwoofers wherever you're playing.
Maybe they don't know what that is either.
The lower frequency amplifiers that give you the bass, the kick, the beef, the juice.
Oh, there we go.
The goodie.
So the bottom of the 3 knobs on my mixer.
Yeah, the low.
That's a good description.
Yeah. So you want.
So when they panic, they're like,
pump.
the bottom
So
knob.
those big ones.
Hits filter.
Yeah. The heavy one. Those when you start if you have access to start in some applications you start your set with some slow music and just increasing the low frequency for the slow dances fills the room enough to get people into the mood.
So just like lay this out. What situation are you DJing in? Because like they could be
wedding.
Their first gig might be a totally different thing.
A wedding.
Okay, so yeah, Matthias is describing a wedding right now.
Right. If you're coming out of a dinner and you're starting a dance set, you've been playing dinner music at a relatively comfortable level with not a lot of bass in your face. Mm-hmm. Now it's time for the bass. So turn it up, play the slow jam so that the bass doesn't annoy everybody because you're not kicking and pumping yet.
Yeah.
But you're introducing those low frequencies.
Matthias put me on to that trick. I used to just do like louder versus quieter. Like I would keep turning the music up, but having the music up but not having the bass all the way up definitely has a totally different effect than just having all of the music a little quieter, because the bass is really what's like ringing a lot of the time.
Exactly.
So you take the bass out a little bit, start bringing it up. And they do a similar thing, not with bass, but like in the club, like usually you're supposed to keep your volume at a certain level. That's another thing that they do a lot, is they'll keep the volume at a certain level and then turn it up by the time the headliner is going on.
Oh,
So that's another thing like that openers need to deal with. Like, I'm playing music quietly to people right now. This sucks. But yeah, any other tidbits or anything about opening that you guys would want to chime in, like tell about? Maybe a new DJ who's listening.
No, just always be prepared with more than something you've prepped. So don't show up to an opening slot with a prepped set.
That's a great.
Make sure you.
That is an amazing tip. That is an amazing tip. So going back to the opening story I just told, I was told that it was going to be all electronic music, So that's what I was
So
playing.
you load up your flash drives with a bunch of EDM,
Yeah.
and they want hip hop, and you're like,
and you're
left
like,
that
oh,
one at home.
and you're like, oh, I literally can't DJ.
Sorry, I'm going home. I got an Uber coming.
Yeah.
And but I'll you guys I'll deliver a pizza.
So yeah,
here.
be over prepared.
Yeah,
like
overprepared.
at least a certain amount of time.
If you're not the closing guy, just bring all your shit. So
yeah, like
you
if
have
you
all your tunes,
don't,
you can jump around and someone says no, it's not like that. You're like, all right, let's go. Switch it up real quick, and we're back in business.
and don't prepare to the point where you know every minute blend of your set or anything. Because if you do something like that, then you're gonna get there. They're gonna ask for something else and totally throw that set off.
Throw
anyways.
you off, and then you gotta look, and then you gotta think about what to play. It's better if you haven't been thinking about anything the whole time, and you show up and you just like.
I don't know about that. You can do a little preparation. Don't think about anything.
When
Don't
I
even
first
think
started
about the
DJing,
game.
I was trying to set up.
It depends on the frequency of how much you're doing something, but I agree.
Yeah. No,
If
I know what
if
you
you're
mean.
repetitive, some things you can freestyle like that. But yeah, no, that's micro detailing here. Continue.
Yeah, no, when I first got started, I would try and prep sets like that. And I was like, man, I want to do a really good job. I'm going to figure out the perfect order to play these songs and the perfect blend and the perfect time to start it. And what I ended up realizing fairly quickly was that you never know what's going to happen, and nothing's ever perfect. And you could set up a computer to do that. So why not just pre-record the thing and press play and be done? Sit there for an hour, and it's an art. You have to what you're getting paid to do is to be a musician of sorts, and you're never going to do that with a perfectly timed out pre-built set unless you're a headlining festival DJ.
This is another that's another debate. I was gonna say some people would totally disagree with that.
Most people listening, I'm sure, and most DJs on average aren't in that position.
Yeah, most DJs probably
99% of DJs or more are literally getting paid to read the room.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. That's what the job is.
So it just makes me wonder, because Carnage didn't follow up saying what he was talking about as an opener. He just said flat out in basically saying in general. But I think that if you've been DJing a while, you know that there's a distinction between what that is. But hey, how am I supposed to know? Say if it's a bad booking situation like it could be. I get booked to play a house set, and I'm not a house DJ, and they think I'm going too hard with the songs I'm playing. What if I don't know the difference? Because you definitely have because I noticed this when I would go to any event that was a deep house event. If one of my friends opened, they're like, "Oh, they said I'm going too hard," and I was like, "Oh, really?" Because it sounds fine to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't differentiate it, if I'm not deep in the genre like that.
I think it's just one of those things that comes with experience.
Yeah.
And it's important to acknowledge that nothing's ever going to happen the way you want it to happen. And
no DJ set does either, especially.
The majority of the time, you're winging it, and you expect it to be one way, and it goes another way, and it's still fine, and it's great, and everyone thinks it was awesome.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about, oh, I should have done this, and I
was
should have done that, and
I suck.
Yeah, that's not how these people. You think the way you're thinking because of other things that you've experienced and what your goal is, and what's your crowd thinking? What are your guests thinking?
Yeah,
they're coming in to drink some beers or some vodka sodas or some sparkling LaCroix or whatever it is that they're coming in to do, and listen to some music or whatever the main event is that night. And it's you have different expectations.
Yeah. And
you're going to be one of your worst critics or strongest critics, I guess. So it's not, even if you think you bombed, you probably did all right.
Well, I really like that answer. I think that definitely helps break it down for people who may have not heard, who have been on the fence of whether it's right or wrong. Mm-hmm. But I think that if we go back to requests now, so do you think that it has gotten requesting has gotten worse than it used to be? I
Like
think
people request more frequently and have a higher expectation that it gets played.
Yeah,
for sure.
because when you talked about like setting the expectation, it's like that's another thing too. Like with requests, people's expectations are crazy because they pull up the song on YouTube and they're like, "Can you play this?" And it's like, "No, I'm not going to play that off of your phone right now,
Right.
or my phone, because I need to be able to mix the song in the right way."
Right.
And that's more for like the situation where it's like a club or bar gig. At a private event, like yeah, I'll plug your phone in, and we could play it if it's like appropriate.
You'll plug somebody's phone in?
I mean, or my own phone.
Wow.
Well, I have like I have like an
I've ever
adapter.
done that.
You've never done that?
No.
Like say. So here's an example, or like say if it's like something that is a request of like the family, like they unanimously like kind of wanted it.
So I'm at a private event.
Yeah, you're at a private event.
Okay.
And even if it's like a wedding, the bride and groom want it. Oh, this is like a grandma's song that we like. Like you wouldn't plug in your phone to just like play that song.
Well, I use DJ software.
Yeah.
So I would just download it onto my computer
Okay.
and play it through my software.
I also use DJ software.
Well, as opposed to like guys that are just on flash drives.
What if you can't find it anywhere except YouTube?
Then I'll rip it from YouTube.
Or you could just play it on Spotify off of your phone or something. Because what are you gonna do?
There's no way.
What are you
I'm
gonna do?
not playing a streaming file.
They asked for it, and what are you gonna do? Figure out what the tempo is and actually like blend it to tempo? What if it's in like 2/3 time or some like crazy?
I'm
crazy
not saying
thing?
I'm gonna beat mix it in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then why does it really matter? If you like, why do you need the DJ software if you're not gonna beat mix it in?
It's the easiest solution. Why? Tell me this. Why would you go through the trouble of having a second connection to plug an audio device into with an additional channel on your mixer? And what if you're a guy that doesn't have anything more than a DDJ SB3? And you don't, does that even have an aux input? It might.
It doesn't.
But,
I don't think it does. But I think you should have some sort of backup solution anyways.
Sure. So you a backup solution. So I bring my iPad.
Yeah.
If my mixer crashes, I plug that in.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not. Or if my computer crashes, right? I'd have to plug that in.
Yeah. If the mixer crashes, hopefully you got another mixer.
Right. Yeah.
Or your mixer is
it's
plugged into their mixer,
Or something. Yeah.
and you can plug into their mixer.
it's easier for me to just pop up iTunes, download the song, or if I have to get it on YouTube, I can do it that way, and drop it into the software and play it. It's the easiest solution.
I mean,
And you have complete control over everything.
I think it's pretty easy if I like search something on
You can start
Spotify.
from a certain point. You can end from a certain point. You can adjust the yeah.
I mean, because that could even be a point. Like everyone wants to hear the song. You're like, okay, they've been waiting for this. You could cut the volume and be like, I heard a lot of people want to hear whatever the song is. Like name the song, and then so this one goes out to the bride and groom, and then you just turn it up and play it off of Spotify.
No way.
Because like, how else are you gonna mix it otherwise that it would be better in the DJ software?
Have you ever left your phone at home?
Left my phone at home.
Yeah, and then gone to work, or left it at work and gone home, or left it somewhere and went somewhere else? You ever spend a day without your phone?
Probably, yeah.
If you could choose to do that day over again, would you bring your phone with you, or would you leave it at home?
I mean, I made it through it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Like if it was something where I really needed, like someone tried to kill me and I needed my phone,
So-
then that probably would have been bad.
I like having my phone on me because I have so much more control over how I go about my day. I can
Okay.
check the GPS and see if I should take a different traffic because something automatically popped up. There was an accident and somebody put it on Waze, and I'm like, okay, I should take this detour.
Okay.
Or if I'm heading to a meeting and the location changes, or somebody postpones something, or something happens. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people didn't have such capable smartphones. And 15 years before that, people didn't have cell phones at all. People still got where they, like when I first started driving, or I guess when I was learning how to drive, I used a map, a physical paper map, if we would go on vacation and drive across country. We'd have to map out the route. We'd have to look at the odometer and be like, okay, it's about 100 miles to wherever we're going, and based on this map scale. Mm-hmm. Sure, we got through. We got by. Everyone got by in life. But if you could have that control, why wouldn't you want it? So that's how I feel about using my DJ controller and having full control over everything that goes on in my DJ software. And if you play something that's just the track, standalone track, without being able to control anything in it, I don't like that feeling.
The only thing you wouldn't be able to control is the speed.
Cue points and pitch, and speed.
And a cue point, I guess, if you're not playing it from
which are pretty much everything that I normally do when I play a song.
But you can still cue it. You could pause it to the point where you want to start playing it.
Yeah, but
it's not the same. What if you want to
it's
scratch into it?
No, it's definitely better. It's definitely better to have it in the software. I was just like going back and forth, seeing like why is that important.
Emergency situations where, let's say, for some reason you needed to start the song or stop the song quickly, you need to be able to just jump to that spot, whether you use your mouse or the little screen swiper thing above your jog wheel.
Yeah.
You need to go back to
the needle search, strip search.
Yeah. If you're with the Spotify, you got to use the little scroll bar. You don't know where the song is. You can't see any wave patterns.
I'm not saying I've never played music with Spotify before.
What about
also?
What if it's like a house party
ahead of time?
What if it's like a house party? Would you just like throw the track on Spotify?
I've used it only very rarely because of
what kind of track would I be playing at a house party that I wouldn't have?
I don't know, something that like all their family knows, but you don't know it. Maybe it's in like a different language.
Something you.
It's like foreign to you, so you're just like, all right.
I've played a playlist before at some casual event like that where I didn't have to be live mixing.
Yeah,
I'll play a playlist.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a playlist. I'm just saying like for one song.
Just mix out of it, mix into the other one.
Yeah.
You just have to do a volume fade or like a vocal jump.
Because you could even like use like a tap tempo or something, listen to it, know what tempo it is. You could even get like a pretty decent, if you like know what you're doing, you could even get like a decent like beat matched mix.
My point is it's easier to do it on the computer.
100,000 times easier.
Than it is on the phone.
Yeah.
I see. I guess it just depends on like.
And there's no way I'm plugging a guest phone in. What if it rings?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
Not a guest phone. Like, it's something that's important. But my own phone or, like, whatever backup iPad, whatever.
Anytime you are hired for a professional DJ service, Spotify should not even be in your arsenal as far as a total backup on backup.
You know what I do use it for? Is music suggestions. If I'm in a pinch, if I'm like DJing an event where I'm really uncomfortable, but I come up with like 6 songs.
Virtual DJ.
No. If I'm in a pinch where I can't come up with more than 6 songs that flow with whatever vibe they're going for, I'll put those into a Spotify playlist, and Spotify makes recommendations.
Right.
And so you go to the bottom of the screen, it's got like 5 or 10 recommendations, and I'll just add. So it like, I'll be like, oh, you know what? That is a good song to put in this playlist.
Right.
And by the time I'm done, I've got like 30 or 40 songs, but I'm not playing them through Spotify. No. I'm going back in my DJ software and building the playlist in there.
Those songs anyway.
Right. Well, I just use it as a tool to make myself better.
Yeah, well, don't you have like related? Do you have like related tracks on Virtual DJ?
You can do that
use
if
all
you're
those
signed
features.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're using Genius,
because they have a thing in Rekordbox where it tells you.
It only comes up with the next track, though. Oh, you know what? It does. It gives
you like a decent, like it makes like a playlist of stuff that would at least be able to mix with it, but like it doesn't know unless you tag it properly, like if it's the right year or like. It just depends on the
Spotify has one of the best algorithms for determining.
It is pretty good.
Spotify has one of the best algorithms for determining similar music to what you're listening to. Pandora used to be better, I think, but Spotify took over for sure. Spotify's amazing.
I think you're gonna have to let go of that feeling of hatred you have towards someone using Spotify during their gigs, because I'm telling you, in a couple of years, that's how all of us are gonna be DJing. You're not even gonna have a music library. It's all gonna be streamed.
Well, that's that's fine. If we have a
Once
secure-
technology catches up.
yeah, if we have a secure way of doing
people
it,
have the technology. It's just like when DJ technology catches up to be able to select it easier.
It's the connection on the fly in certain hot situations. Let's say you're doing it out in a suburb, and you're out in an outer suburb, like we're out in Plainfield, and we're a little far away from the towers. Now my connection is a little shoddy. Now if I go out there to do my gig,
Matthias is just saying we're out there because they might not know where Plainfield is.
Yeah, we don't need to specify. But the point is that
Plainfield is in the same place that it used to be.
Yeah.
They've got like a downtown. They've got a couple bars. Yeah, if you're in the sticks.
Point is, I think if we get to the point where our internet connections, our public Wi-Fi, all of our inherent needs to be productive online and digitally, our connection speed needs to be gone. As far as an issue is concerned, it needs to be a thing of the past. It needs to be like electricity, where we're not thinking about like,
Right.
oh, this shit's slow as fuck here.
Well,
Like,
have you
once we have pounded through that obstacle, the progress is limitless.
have you ever DJ'd through a streaming service on DJ software?
Only on my phone for fun once, and then I deleted it.
I did a live gig on
Not a live
Algorithm's DJ Pro
Okay.
on the iPad.
Okay. Yeah. Now that
It's awesome.
It's sick. Like it'll load up a track. You're not really worried about the connection because it'll load one track at a time. Like you can see what other songs and stuff that you can go through on Spotify or whatever without it loading them. So it only loads the songs that are actually playing at the time.
Right.
So you can get by like
But
on
it's
probably
there. It's
not
there,
the
dude.
best internet and
It's
still be able
there.
to do it.
It's there.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I'm gonna plan to do jobs the same way that I am comfortable doing them and that I know 100% of the time will work. Why would I try to do something that I'm not sure if it's going to work or not when I'm getting paid a ton of money? I'm going to make sure it's a bulletproof system, and plugging in a phone is not one,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Agreed.
In my strong opinion.
I
That
just
is a total
well,
backup.
I would
Backup.
I mean, I would I guess if it's something that I can't find a legit download for and I have to rip it, then I will just play it on Spotify because then I will just play it on Spotify either on my computer or on like plugging in my phone to the mixer because that's already set up. Just because even so, like I'm never gonna play the song again. Why am I even gonna waste my time downloading it? I'm just gonna play it the one time, give them the one stream, and then it's over with. I guess that's my thinking behind it. I do agree. Like you would have more control if it's in your DJ software.
So the difference is you're either collecting or not collecting, right? So you're not collecting if you don't take that request because that person's song probably represents several other people's feeling on that song.
Oh,
so
yeah, I see
the
what you
more
mean.
the more of those that you have in your arsenal, the more you're like you search that song, and like I've searched songs in the So Prime library where I can't believe that we have that shit, you know. And I'm like, you gotta okay. How many play counts? 2.
Yeah.
You know? Like
It's been there for
it's
18
been
years.
there for 18 years, and it's played twice. But I didn't have to download it. It's there because the person, instead of just streaming it, took it and took the time to build the playlist and add it to the library. Because people's requests and their customized playlists are emotionally valuable. To
That's
them.
true.
And it also
And to you as
can
the DJ.
be as valuable to the DJ
Yeah.
in reciprocating symbiotic ways.
I definitely understand that.
That playlisting is only
But-
going to help you because it's already curated to a person, you know?
So say this was for a wedding, like a foreign wedding, or just like something that is a family tradition of theirs that is a song that I don't know. My library is pretty much to the point where I don't get much songs that are like that I'll use again. So in this situation, by the time I would need to play that song again or like be in that situation, I will be DJ streaming whatever you know what I'm saying? It'll be so long before I use it again that
I think that's a judgment call. I think I've had both.
I guess that's true.
I've had those both of those where I've been like, that is so fucking random. I'm like, yeah, we'll find a way to play it, but like there's no. But if someone builds you a playlist of some, salsa music.
Oh yeah,
from
no,
Cuba
I'm keeping that.
or
I'm keeping
something
that for
right?
sure.
They're like, and you're not really sure what any of those songs are. Instead of building your playlist on Spotify and just playing them for the day of the gig, download them and put them in your salsa folder.
Yeah,
I just thought about food.
Save them
quick.
to your salsa folder.
Yeah. And
We're going to Los Dos tonight.
Yeah, I just got about a big bowl of chips and salsa. Anyway, you put them in that folder, and then you have them in there.
Totally,
and they have some merit because they were personally selected by.
Yeah, and if it was someone you know music, and they curate it for you, you should keep that just because
you're gonna be you're not gonna know a genre perfectly, no matter who you are. So always be open to those. And when it comes down to it, you're if you have the opportunity to cycle through those tracks, you can weed out the ones that you don't need. Yeah. And then that's how the power of the playlist, the power of the playlist. You have to definitely build those as a good DJ.
Yeah, I think that
be open to it.
Yeah, I think that anytime that you're in the situation where people are curating it for you to like help you DJ, you should hold on to that in case you ever need it again, for sure. But I was thinking, can you play this one song one time? You know what I mean? Yeah. That was the situation I was talking about.
Yeah, of course.
I would say. Well, do you guys have any closing remarks? Anything like that?
Not really. I think we kind of
dove
in deep.
Yeah, we did get in there pretty deep. Well, thank you all for stopping by and listening to the SPE Studio Podcast. We will catch you next time. Have a great day.
Good night.